Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we are going to take a look at the BYD mobile app. Is it any good? What are the key functionalities and what is still missing from the application? So let's go. And we have quite a many things to cover today, so I'll try to give you a pretty comprehensive view of the BYD mobile app, starting with quick overview of key features, then looking at the AC and heating controls, shortcut actions, other functions in the app, and then setting up and testing the digital key, and finally discussing what is still missing from the app. And the first thing to note here is that, of course, the application functionality varies by the software version, and it can also vary by country. But I'm reviewing the iOS application 2.6.2. If you have an older version or newer version, there might be differences in the functionalities, and some of the things might also depend on the country. So that is good to keep in mind. So here we are on the front page of the application, and I'll start by giving a quick run through of all the key functionalities here. But later in this video we'll also dive deeper into each of these sections and functions, and we'll test the features of the applications. So you will also get to see what does those do in practice and what is the impact on the car when I activate these functions remotely. So I hope you get a pretty good overview of the mobile app functions through this video. But anyway, starting with a quick overview, you have the range here on the top as well as the state of charge. And then below this car image, there are these 4 shortcut buttons to lock the car, unlock the car, flash the lights, and then use the car horn or activate the car alarm. And we'll try that one as well, and that will be surely interesting for the neighbors. Let's see if we get some reactions when we do that testing. But then there is the air conditioning. Obviously that is the most used functionality of this application for most, myself included. Then you have the doors and windows. You have the ability to set the digital key. We'll do that one as well, and let's see how it works. Then you have the seat heating and seat ventilation control. You have the tire pressure monitoring, ability to schedule charging. Then vehicle position will use the GPS position of the car and show the position on map. And then you have the maintenance or services as well as ability to contact customer support. Finally, here at the bottom there's My Account tab, which lists details of your car, like the VIN number and the total driven distance, and then you have access to your account, passwords, possibility to change the password or log out of the application, as well as some settings, which we can take a closer look later in this video. In my personal use, I use mostly the AC as well as the seat heating and ventilation functionality, and these two of course are the most used functions when you want to warm up the car before starting the drive or cool the car in warmer conditions in the summertime. Actually start by showing the seat ventilation and seat heating controls, and we are also going to take a look at both outside the car and inside the car, what happens in the lights and the infotainment when I activate these functions. So this is actually interesting because this varies a little bit by function. If you use, for example, the seat heating, or if you turn on the air conditioning, the car reacts a little bit differently to those functions, at least with my app version and the software version in the car, which is 1.4 at the moment, and the application version is 2.6.2. But yeah, turning on the seat heating is here, and it requires you to enter your PIN code. But now the seat heating is on, and you can also adjust the level. So there are 2 levels, and currently it's now in level 1. And then the steering wheel heat also can be activated from this screen. And now that the function was activated in the mobile app, you see the lights flashing briefly on the car, indicating that this remote function was completed. And inside the cabin actually now you will see that the infotainment turns on, the driver's instrument cluster turns on. So activation of the seat heating functionality actually wakes up the whole car. And the car is now ready to be driven. Of course the doors are still locked, but everything else is ready to go. This works a little bit differently with the AC function. So let's try the air conditioning next. So now its AC temperature is set to 26 degrees. And actually this time we don't get the turn signals flashing. This is a difference to switching on the seat heating. And looking at this camera inside the cabin, it is clear that the car remains kind of in non-drivable mode. The infotainment is off, the driver's instrument cluster is off, but the air conditioning is on. And this is a difference in the logic versus the seat heating, as you saw previously. Now let's go to the car and check inside how does it actually look here when the AC is on. And now here in the cabin you can probably hear the AC is on, but the car itself is off. So infotainment doesn't do anything, the driver's instrument cluster doesn't do anything. So that is the difference. So then next let's try the locking and unlocking the car. Let's also see how the door handles react. So locking the car. Taking a bit of time, but it confirms that locking is successful. And now unlocking the car, let's see will the door handles pop out. Unlocking successful. Yes, door handles did pop out. Flashing the lights. Flashing lights successful. And it continues that for a while and then automatically ends. You don't have to turn it off separately, but it just ceases after a while. And then next one interesting, let's wake up the neighbors with the car alarm. So that was 5 beeps and then flashing the lights a little bit longer. So actually not the car alarm, luckily, that would be a little bit too much maybe. But this was a more like subtle sound notification so that you can locate the car on a large parking area, for example, if you have forgotten where you parked the car, this helps you to find it. A couple of things about the AC settings. You have the temperature setting here. You can easily adjust that one, and you can control the heating and cooling separately, or you can set the schedule when to turn on the AC and the temperature setting specific to the scheduling here. Then there is still some more settings where you can control the time that the AC keeps running, and there's air circulation mode if you want to keep the air circulation mode on or off. In cold temperatures, having it on is kind of a faster way to warm up the car. I think now in the latest car software, it also switches it off when you start driving. But that's maybe something that you want to check when you start driving after using the remote AC, so that you turn off the air circulation, especially if the temperature is around 0 degrees. Otherwise you will probably end up with fogging up the car windows if you have the air circulation on when driving a little bit longer. So that's good to keep in mind. So yeah, so that's the AC settings. Doors and windows section of the app doesn't have that much functionality. You can see the status of the front hood, doors, windows and the rear trunk, and you can see that all those are closed. And that is the kind of biggest value that this section brings, that it lets you know if you have forgotten to close the doors or lock the doors, for example. And actually you don't have to go here, it will also announce it on the top, on the front page here. There is one functionality here which is close windows remotely. But for example, there is no such a feature that would allow you to open and close the rear trunk remotely through the application. I think that might be a use case that some people might need. Tire pressure monitoring, that's pretty self-evident. You see the tire pressure of each 4 tires, and it uses this color coding, I guess green, yellow and red, to highlight if the pressures are normal or if they are too low. Then the scheduled charging, which of course hasn't always been supported in the application, and I think many people still have older versions of the app which doesn't have this function. But now it's here and it's very good to have this. You can see that the charger is currently disconnected, and you can set the starting time, and repeat cycle is currently every day. You can select here if it's a single time or custom. In the custom settings you're able to control it day by day, and also here you can select the start time and the end time, or if you want to charge it fully, then there is the full option. So this one for sure will be one of those most used features of the application, and it's very good that BYD added this function into the mobile app. Vehicle position will show the car position on map, and that could help you also to locate the car, navigate to the car, and this accuracy is what GPS is able to deliver. I think it's something like 10 meters is the accuracy. Now it shows that my car is 28 meters away from me, which I think is very accurate. So then in the services section you have the list of all the nearby service centers and dealers. You can easily contact them through phone, or you can then send this location, for example, onto the Google Maps for navigation. In customer support you can contact the roadside assistance, so get help when you have an accident and can't move, so you can do that there. Or then contact customer service through the application as well. And then there is this small link below here which says click for feedback, and there is actually a feedback form here, quite well hidden in the application, but this is only for service evaluation. So you can evaluate the quality of maintenance service through this form. But then in the My Account there is account and security. So here you have an access to your account, email address, you can change your password, or you can deregister your account, which I think is useful then if you are, for example, selling the vehicle to the next owner. You would like to deregister your account so that the new owner would be able to register. In the settings you have various notification settings. For example, if you want to receive messages on when the charging has been started, it will send you a push notification to your phone if you have it enabled, as well as charging end notification. Door trunk not closed notification is very useful. I think it is easy to forget doors open, and it will give you the push notification on that one. Then if you have scheduled AC, the app will notify you when that function has been completed or turned on successfully. And also the same for turning off the AC. You can have a notification on that one. And then of course everybody's favorite child presence detection warning. So if you want more warnings about the child presence, you can have a push notification as well. I think the actual warning and the alert is so loud that you can hear it miles away. So I don't know if you actually need the push notification, but yeah, maybe for some cases I will always keep it off, and I would like to keep the whole child presence warning off permanently if I could. Remote control verification, so you can make it so that it asks for the password every time or then only once, and once you have entered the password, there is no need to re-enter it within 5 minutes, so you can complete many actions in the app within 5 minutes without having to enter the PIN code or the password for the second time. Use vehicle position, auto login. You can enable biometric login as well here. Alert sounds are on. I think these alert sounds are about the mobile application sending the sound when some action is completed. And then you have client service options, some stuff here as well regarding, for example, email communication and stuff like that. And then in About Us section you have terms and conditions, privacy statement, comments and feedbacks, and this one actually only shows this dialogue that for any feedback and questions please contact this phone number. So this is not very well implemented, something that they could easily improve. As you saw in the maintenance section, they have this feedback form for service maintenance quality and monitoring that. So something like that could be easily added here, so that the users would be able to send feedback directly to BYD. This is kind of a very lazy implementation of the feedback functionality. I don't know if they are worried that they would get too much of that feedback, but hopefully this is something that could be improved here. And then there is the current version. You can also check if there are updates available. And then I think final thing that we haven't yet reviewed is the digital key. So let's do that next. So let's go into the car to complete this setup and see how it works. So here are the instructions of adding the digital key, and you can also read more about this function. It explains to you what is the digital key all about. So it mentions here that the digital key allows the user to add the car key to the smartphone or wearable device, and user can easily and safely lock, unlock and start the BYD car through the smartphone with the digital key. And listed are some technical requirements and supported devices. You can see them here. There are some links to learn even more about this functionality. But the instruction here is that you need to go to the car with the physical key and then add now to proceed to enable the digital key, and your phone needs to be in this kind of NFC area here in the center console. So let's go and see how does the digital key work. Alright, so here we are in the car, and this of course is the NFC placement where the app instructs you to put your phone for the digital key setup. So let's see if that works. And you will need to accept the BYD App Digital Key User Service Agreement. I have of course read that one through. Add car key to wallet. Use your iPhone to unlock, lock and start your car. Continue with your pairing code to get started. So let's continue. To start pairing, you'll need to be in your car. Well, here I am. BYD pairing code. Enter the code for this car to get started. And here is the digital key. digital key also visualized in the application. Alright, but now let's try the digital key in practice and how does it work. So the car is now on, the door is unlocked, and I will now place the phone near the NFC reader. And the car locked itself. So that worked just as it should. Now let's then unlock it similarly. So I'm not doing anything on the phone. I'm not activating the BYD app or I'm not activating the wallet. I'm just taking the phone now nearby this NFC reader in the side mirror. And the car is unlocked. So that seems to be working very nice and smooth. And this is how the BYD SeaL digital key looks in the Apple Wallet. It says there, hold near the reader, as you saw just a moment ago. That's how it worked with the NFC reader in the side mirror. So, this was all the features that the BYD application has. But now the question is, what features are still missing? I'm pretty satisfied with this application. I've been using it every day and it covers the basic functionalities I need. But of course it's not yet perfect. There is a lot of opportunities what could be done here. And now it's time to take a look at the Electric SeaL YouTube channel idea board. You might remember the idea board if you've seen my earlier videos, but this one is the most comprehensive collection of user feedback and feature requests from the BYD SeaL community around the globe. And let's now browse this a little bit and see what are the feature requests that are related to this mobile application. So here we are on the idea board, and there are things like the Sentry mode, for example, so that you could monitor the camera view from all of the cameras that the SeaL has through the mobile app. That would definitely be one of the highlights, and that has received almost 200 votes here on the idea board. There is better control of the charging via the application. Well, I think this one is pretty much covered already with this latest app version having the scheduled charging feature. Perhaps the battery preconditioning or the preheating could be also enabled through the app. Then there is trunk control from the app. So currently you can only open the trunk remotely from the key. We need to have an option on the app so that you can open it for anyone when you are away from the car. Yeah, so I agree with this one. I will actually give my thumbs up. It has now 47 upvotes, and this one would make a good additional feature to the application. Driver profiles, setting for true driver profiles based on key or mobile. Then defrost in app. Defroster for windows and side mirrors front window is missing in the app. This is a good point. Quite basic functionality. I'm sure this could be technically supported relatively easily. Of course, when you start the AC with the highest temperature, that is pretty effective way to defrost the car, but then the side mirrors and back window have the heating separately, and it would make sense to have that control in the mobile app as well. So at least these kind of things are here on the idea board, and there is much more, so please check also the idea board, cast your votes here, and you can of course add your own feature requests and put them up for the community vote. But all in all, I think the BYD mobile app is on a pretty good state. It is better than your average electric car mobile app if you look at all the car manufacturers. That is my impression at the moment. It is not the best mobile app yet available. It is clear that Tesla is ahead quite a bit in this software area, so there is things that the BYD can do to catch. But the start is pretty good. And I'm sure that everyone in the SeaL community is expecting to receive updates, not only to the car infotainment, but also the mobile app experience. So thank you for watching. This was my BYD app review. Please let me know in the comments if you found this useful, and if you did, please also hit that like button and subscribe to the Electric Seal. So thank you and see you in the next video.